So this is the level 8 Zonda R. It's a real popular half-mile car, and it was even a really good quarter-mile car until the new CM F1 took that over. And it used to not be that difficult to drive before Creative Mobile did an update. And after the update, what happened is the red line rev limiter, which used to be at about 8200 RPM, it's now gone. So what happens is if you don't shift, you end up hitting a wall. The light doesn't turn red, it stays green, but because you hit that wall, it'll hurt your time a lot. And it's very difficult to gauge when to shift. It's something that you just kind of have to get the rhythm to. You're just gonna have to look at the meter. You can't rely on the lights turning red, because that's not gonna happen. Let me show you what this car does. Now watch this. See how it just sticks at about roughly 8200. That's about what I'm guessing, and it stays solid. Before it didn't do that, but now it does, so it makes shifting this car extremely difficult. Now your aim for this car is to get as close as you can to that 8150, 8200 RPM without ever touching it, because if you do, you ruin the run and you're gonna hurt it. So what I do is I shift roughly in 8100, 8150. That's what I'm estimating, and it's really hard to tell, as you'll see from my runs. Also, when you're doing the launch, as I said before, you want to launch as close to 7500 RPM, but if your needle hits 7500 and it doesn't show the slip animation, you've launched too high, and you gotta lower that just a tad. So you want to get as high as you can to 7500 while still showing the slip animation, and that's going to be the perfect launch. And I'll tell you guys, it is not easy. You're gonna be doing a run and hitting the back button many times, because it is very difficult to get the launch. It is even more difficult to time the shifting just right. So they've made this car in particular extremely hard to drive. I mean, it's still a really nice car. It is the fastest car, but in my opinion, it's one of the hardest to get perfect. Now, if you don't get it perfect, even if you land on 7500 and you're not shifting up to 8150, you're shifting even at 8100 and you launch at 7500, I'd say you're still doing pretty good. You're still going to be in the 11.626 range, which is still pretty darn good to beat pretty much everyone out there. I mean, there's a very small handful of people running 11.626. So even if you're not hitting 11.626, if you're hitting 11.623, you're gonna beat a lot of people out there, and it's really rare to see that many people at all in the Pro League to run 11.626. The people that are running 11.626 are the people that are doing it in test mode, that are going to be trying to launch like this, and if they fail, they hit back and they go again. They keep doing that back and forth until they can get the launch right, until they can get the shifting right. I mean, it's pretty much testing to see if your tune is good and to see if you can break a world record. To use this in Pro League to reach 5,000, I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, I think you can get to 4,500 pretty easy with this tune. If you want to get, to 5,000, I would use the second gear tune, because that tune alone itself is really good, and not that many people will be beating it, and it's consistent. You can do that at the at 11.639 or 11.640, pretty easy. So that's what I would use for a Pro League, and even better race. But I would use this tune if you want to just go for the best time for this car. I didn't quite hit 11.625 with this run, but this tune does do 11.625, and I ran it a few times. I just didn't have it recording. The launch was good. I would have to say when I did the 11.626, that was pretty much the launch you want. The only thing I can see from the video was that I didn't shift as late into 8150 as I could on every gear, and just missing it on one of the gears is gonna hurt your time. As you see, I only hit 626, but I mean that's pretty close to 625. You guys just keep practicing. You guys may beat 625 on your phone if you're really good at shifting.